Welcome, babe. This video is for the baddies who want to start a meditation practice so that you can use it to support you on your manifestation journey. In 2025, I finally did 100 days of meditation, and we're going to go over what you need to focus on, why you're actually doing a meditation practice, like why it's actually so freaking magical. And then, of course, this meditation playlist that I have on my YouTube is going to have recommended meditations that I use all the time. So, and I'll probably keep adding to the list over time. But first, it's really important to know why the heck are you meditating? What is it doing for you? Because I feel like when I started my meditation journey, well, for years, I tried to start a meditation journey. And I was like, oh, if I just meditate, I'm going to be able to manifest so much better. Oh, if I just meditate, I'm actually going to feel so much better. Oh, if I just do this, I thought it was getting me something when I didn't realize that the actual practice of meditation, the purpose of it is to do it so that you can calm yourself down and so that you can actually feel good. And this is a very ChatGPT thing to say because I've talked to ChatGPT about my meditation practice before. And it said that meditation isn't something that you do, it's a space where you go to be. And I was like, ooh, okay. Yes, that is a space where I go to be. And this is going to tie back into the beingness and how meditation feels and all of the things. But the first thing I want to start with is stop trying to get something out of meditation other than just going there to feel good. Because there's a lot of meditations that will work towards manifestation or thinking about the things that you want, or a lot of visualization and all of that. All of that is really good, but all of that, the purpose of all of the visualizations and all of the things that you will do is to feel good. Because at the end of the day, manifestation is about feeling. So I do a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. And so I highly recommend reading his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He also has Becoming Supernatural. Those give a lot of the science and things around why and how meditation works and what's going on in the brain. But at the very least, I always recommend Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. That book changed my life. It literally catapulted me on my journey of loving the woman that I am becoming, understanding that it is me who receives, it is me who manifests when I become the version of myself who already has it. Okay. So this is where I got the being a turned on woman, because I was like, oh, if my energy is like stuck, but I have all the energy that I need, then all I need to do is to turn on the energy that I have within me so that I can be magnetic. He has this wonderful, visual in his book where when we're sucking energy from the energetic field, it's coming inwards, and this is survival mode because there's fear, there's doubt, there's guilt, there's shame, there's all these things being sucked into our lower chakras. But when we can release that, alchemize that, rewrite those stories for ourselves, not be focused so much on the fear, but be focused on love and possibility and compassion, when we change those emotions, then all of a sudden the energy goes up and out through our upper chakras, and then we become magnetic. And that's when we are actually giving energy to the field, giving energy out, and then it comes back to us because we're giving more out, we're receiving more back. Law of attraction, right? Too, as well. Because also when you're giving to the field, your thoughts are the electro part, and the magnetism part is your heart, which is drawing it back in because you're an electromagnetic being. So, highly recommend Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Now, you're going to learn about meditation in that book. You're going to learn about how it works, how it's connecting to your brain, heart coherence, getting them on the same page. We think about meditation as being very masculine, and I'm actually challenging this a bit. It is in the sense of like we are using our brain, but what I love about Joe Dispenza's meditations is that we are also tapping into love and the feeling of love. And that feeling state is well, feeling is a very feminine thing. It's a very unseen thing. And that is what truly makes us magnetic. So that doesn't, I don't really like the categories of like masculine and feminine, but what this is doing is actually really allowing you to feel as if you already have your desire. And we know that that's the goal of a manifestation practice, of even getting what you want, is because you want to feel a certain way. So if you can already feel the love in your heart for, being grateful for what you do have, loving, Mother Earth, and just being like in awe with life, well, then that from that energy, you are going to attract and receive much faster, because again, you're feeling from your heart. That's that magnetic pole. The electro is your thought. Oh, I'm thinking about the thing that I want. Oh, I already have it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It feels so good. And then you're feeling it, and then you're like, oh, and you're drawing it to you. Okay. That's a short stint of it. So, meditation is, especially the way that Joe Dispenza does it, because he gets you into your feels, also by getting you into the quantum field. It's so powerful. And a lot of his meditations, I mean, when you hear a lot of his testimonials and things, like they cure cancer, people change their lives, like things like that. So you can heal anything within your body, but you can also focus on more of what it is that you desire to receive. Now, if you're in a there's an emotional scale in life. And so if you're in a very negative state of being, meditation might not be the right practice for you at that time. That's why when you wake up and you meditate, you kind of wake up, and I would say you're more or less around neutral. You might be a little higher, a little lower, but meditation is going to allow you to get at least back to that neutral and then some. So if you are spiraling down and down and down, meditation probably isn't the thing that you want to be doing at that time. It can. I've practiced my way there, but I've meditated by now, like, pretty consistently over like 200 days. So, would I recommend it in the beginning? Probably not. Like, go for a walk, go to a workout, go do something, move with your body. But I have regulated myself from a very triggered state in the moment into a meditation, because I know how it feels in my body. So you can get there, but I'm just saying at the beginning, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, at the beginning, meditating regularly is going to be so annoying. It is going to be tough. It's like going to the gym and you're going to get sore and you're not going to want to go back. And because in meditation, you're going to be like, this isn't working. What's happening? I'm not feeling anything. Or it's also going to be very uncomfortable. I had a client tell me, I sat down to meditate today, which she was not meditating regularly. And she was like, all of a sudden I got very itchy. And that's because your body starts to talk to you in ways somatically, where she was like feeling stuff, because she was like, her body was like, this isn't normal to me. Get me out of here. I'm used to, being a busy bee. I'm used to doing different things, when she needed to actually practice herself into just sitting still. And this will be the toughest part for probably about the first like 2 weeks. And the way that Joe Dispenza describes it, which is like so perfect, is that you need to train yourself like a dog. You need to tell yourself to sit. And you need to sit even when it feels like crap, and even when it feels like nothing's happening. And you need to sit. And because you need to train yourself to be able to sit and do nothing, and then also focus on what he's actually saying in the meditation. Now, what he's actually saying in the meditation, if you do Joe Dispenza meditations, a lot of people kind of think it sounds crazy, thinks it sounds kooky, whatever. The thing is that it's science. And I too was not a fan at the beginning. And I was like, oh, I just need to clear my thoughts and da da da. And I would do other meditations and didn't work for me. And so I actually really learned to love what he's doing, because especially if you read his books, you understand that what he's doing in the meditation is done with so much intention. And there's a narrow focus that we have, that's, being here and now and focus on ourselves. And then there's a wide focus. And he gets us to imagine this space around us, which is like, the space in the space. I don't know. He says a lot of things about space. And it's just to get your mind to think outside of you while still being here, but also practicing the space over there and then widening the space, because your consciousness is actually like all of it. You're just contained also like in a body. And so we can be, when we're connected, this interconnectedness, this like oneness, you're increasing your spatial awareness outward. And that will help you like focus, that will help. It gives you something to focus on so that you're not necessarily thinking thoughts or thinking about what's itching you or thinking about what you're going to have for lunch and things like that. It gives you something to focus on. So the more you can focus on that, the more you will drop into the meditation. Now, that being said, the very thing that will help you on your meditation journey is, he says, become nothing, to become nothing. And after I got through, like, the first couple weeks of awkwardness with the meditation and doing it and wondering why I'm doing it and is it working and all these things, um, with this nothingness, all of a sudden, when I got used to this spaciousness, and then I like was obsessed with the nothingness. I was obsessed with becoming nothing because he takes you into this spaciousness, quantum field, black nothingness. And he says you have to lose yourself. So you have to lose your identity, let go of your thoughts, let go of like what you think about yourself, what you're thinking about things around you, what you have to do for the day, anything that you identify with, anything that you think of, you get to let that go. And guess what happens when you have all of a sudden no thoughts, no obligations, no schedule, no like to-do list? That feels so good. It's so relieving. It's so freeing. It's so relaxing. At least that was my experience. And I would bet that could be your experience as well too. I just became obsessed with becoming nothing. I was like, ooh, I was even like, I'm not going to meditate today. I'm just going to become nothing. And then I would just go into the meditation and I would be like, okay, I'm becoming nothing. And that was enough. When you can get excited about your meditation, especially because of the way it makes you feel, you will do it more often. The very thing we want to tell ourselves is, I don't have enough time to meditate. And that is the very reason you actually need to meditate. Because when we are in a rush, then we are not able to receive and we're just trying to get things done and we're just going about things in the 3D world rather than using our energy to help us receive and work for us, to allow things to happen in a different way. But we're just planning and predicting, nope, I got to get to the day, I got to da 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 da. But that's actually the very moment that we need to meditate. So I became obsessed with becoming nothing because it felt so freaking good. And that will happen, I don't know. You'll start to feel that again after like 30 days. Give it 30 days. If you're going to start to meditate, commit to once a day, at least. A lot of people meditate twice a day. That's great too. And actually quite a few of Joe Dispenza's meditations are longer. They're like more like 35, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. And you've got to make time. Do you have to wake up earlier? That's what I did on my 100 days. I would wake up earlier and I liked it because I was like, ooh, I know I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel so good. It'd be hard for like the first 10 minutes, but then I'd be like, ooh, now I feel good. You might fall in and out of sleep too. Just like have some grace with yourself and you'll start to notice that you want to stay awake. You'll start to want to stay awake for the meditation because you can feel it working on you. Like, it's this feeling of like ease, of relief, of happiness, of joy, of love. You can feel it working on you and it feels good. So then you start to want to stay awake for it. Because I did fall asleep quite a few times in the beginning. But then I would get these glimpses of like that nothingness. And then I was like, oh, I want to stay awake for this. And then I would start to um, do not meditate in your bed. Go somewhere nearby that's still comfortable, whether that's like out to a couch or out to a chair. You still want to be comfortable, but you don't have to be sitting up like properly meditating. But your brain is already associating your bed with sleep, and that it's not enough to just sit up in your bed. Even if you can get on the floor next to your bed, um, slide out of bed, lean against your bed with a pillow, laying down also, especially after you just wake up, probably not the best thing. And then sometimes I get up and like, I'll have some water, have a banana, and then I'll sit down and do the meditation. So it doesn't have to be right away, but like earlier on, the better. I also would you'll see in the playlist that I have, I also have other meditations by Jess Shepherd. Jess Shepherd has a very angelic voice, and she also does her meditations based on Joe Dispenza's teachings. And I either like to use hers as like an afternoon, um, like kind of like reset, or also like an afternoon kind of like hypnotic nap. And so, because of her angelic voice, and if I'm doing it in the afternoon, typically I am dozing off a little bit, and then somehow I always wake up like right at the end. I don't know how it happens. It just does. And I'm like, oh. And you know, when you get that kind of like 20-minute power nap and you're like, oh. So like I use hers in the afternoon. That's why I included some of hers in the playlist as well. I will say that I put in a couple of Joe Dispenza's shorter meditations, the 15-minute ones, for the days that, you know, you feel like maybe you can't go all the way in, but those are the ones where you really want to focus. He does not take you into the quantum on those ones, but he takes you into feeling. So you really want to be able to be focused for those 15, give yourself 20-minute window, you know, where you know that you have nothing to do and that you can really sit there and be with what it is that you are focusing on loving. You know, whether it's you're focusing on loving yourself just to feel good for that day, if you're focusing on, you know, your ideal scenario for receiving abundance and you're envisioning that scenario and like when you've got it and you're like, hell yeah, I got it. And you're like celebrating yourself or whatever it is, or you're envisioning yourself, you know, in a beautiful, loving scenario with another person. Just be there for those 15 minutes to go as deep as you can go because it is short. And then the longer ones, I should actually just pull up my playlist real quick so I can see. Um, I have his paid meditations. This is why I included a pod or a playlist of the ones that I could find that I like that are on YouTube. So let me see here. Oh, the Changing Boxes one, which is says it's 39 minutes, but really the meditation itself is like 35 minutes. It's from the Advanced Retreat. It's so good. That one is amazing because I have the actual Changing Boxes one, but it is a little bit longer. So this one is perfect because it's like 35 minutes. He takes you into the quantum. This one is perfect to practice that quantum feeling, becoming nothingness, because that is the frequency of the quantum field. It's nothing and everything at once. That's why it's so important to become that frequency, to be nothing and everything at once. And because when you really let go of your identity, the point of this, of the meditations in general, when you let go of your identity and you become the nothingness, you let go of the limitation, the perceived limitations that you've put on yourself, whether you know that they're there or not. And then when you become nothing, then you can truly choose who it is that you want to be, what it is that you want to happen in that space. Then you start to feel it with your heart. You're literally just using your pure desire and you're feeling it from a place of pure desire rather than being attached to limitation. You're no longer attached to limitation. And that's why it feels so good because you feel literally limitless and you're so powerful there. Then you have, oh, the tuning into new potentials is also an amazing one. Very similar to changing boxes where you are envisioning your potential. And no, just notice that like you'll want to do these meditations at least once. Use the first one as sort of like the practice for like, okay, what is he talking about in the meditation? Because usually if you buy his meditations, they come with an intro. And then these don't. So you just want to like, okay, I think in the tuning into new potential, I'm almost positive that there's two potentials in there. There's going to be one like big one, and then there's like a second smaller one. So anyway, just so you know. And then Love the Life You Love. I love that one. I think that one, whoever put that online, that one has the intro as well as the breath work and then the meditation portion. And I'm not going to lie, I use Love the Life You Love as one of my shorter meditations because I just do the last 20 minutes because I don't know why. I just do. I love that one. I was practicing his breath work for a while. I've taken a break from that. I'm on my second 100-day set of meditations. I'm like 10 days in at this point. And so, yeah. And at this point, I'm just really feeling called to share the meditations that I use. And so I'll keep adding to this list. But like I said, I really like Joe Dispenza's because it's done with so much intention. And like when you use meditation to feel a certain way, when you can practice that letting go of who you are, what you think you need, um, how you think you're going to get something, when you stop trying to predict it, then you're open to quantum possibilities. Then you become the frequency of your desire because you only want your desire because you're going to feel better. So, if you can feel better now through meditation, then you are a stronger match for your desire. And when we think about it, we can really think about anything. Any desire is the frequency of love. But we could also add on its joy, its adventure, its security, its, peace, its relief, things like that. But at the end of the day, like it's also love. It's going to be always love. Like you're just going to you want your desire to feel more love, more joy, more gratitude. And you're going to feel all of those things by the end of a meditation. So you're automatically becoming a stronger match for your desire. You're becoming that person who sees the possibility, who feels as if they have it now, because the whole point is to get out of lack and scarcity so that you can step into the version of you who already has your desire. And so I use Joe Dispenza's meditations for like manifestation, for manifesting circumstances in my life, for manifesting the things that I want, for becoming the person who allows yeah, like love to flow, abundance to come, things like that. And because it feels so good though, because it feels good, and then I have more confidence to go in my life and do the things that I want, that I create, like the ideas that come to me even in meditation have helped me go viral and make money on TikTok from a viral video. And yeah, it's powerful. You can also, though, use Joe Dispenza's meditations as a way to love yourself, to love your body, to heal any part of yourself. I don't technically have something right now that like I would need to heal. I do want to heal my eyesight at some point, and I will use meditation to do that. I wear contacts, so it's not like my eyesight's terrible or anything, but I would like to heal my eyesight naturally because literally anything is possible. Anything is possible. People are curing cancer out there. If I ever got cancer, God forbid, hopefully I don't, but like if I did, I would meditate on it. Like literally the unthinkable happens with meditation. It is that powerful that why would we not just use it to get to that regulated state of being love, of being so whole right now, of being at peace right now? Because like when you're at peace, more peace comes to you. And when you're more loving, people show up more loving in your life. And like, who doesn't want that? I mean, I know I do. So anyway, pick a goal for yourself for how many days you're going to meditate and don't get hard on yourself like when you fall off in the first week. Get back on. Was my 100 days of meditation absolutely perfect? No. I did miss a few days in there. But the thing is like I stuck it out with the best intention for 100 days. And the more momentum you get, the more you're like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. And you're just like, I'm doing it because it feels good. I'm doing it because it feels good. And you're just doing it because it feels good. You stop actually needing the manifestation. You're just doing it because it feels good. And that makes you a magnetic human no matter what. And also, the beautiful thing that I found through my meditation journey of doing the 100 days was um, when you sit in silence, you become this like nothingness. This was my experience. I found like my true worthiness because when you are nothing, like, why would nothing exist but also be like you're nothing but everything at once? I found this like deep sense of worthiness from that. And I was like, oh, I'm allowed to have my desires because if I become nothing and if I just let go of the limitations that are all learned, then I can have my desire. I'm supposed to create towards my desire. I'm supposed to have desires. I don't have to feel guilty about it. I don't have to feel limited by them. I don't have to feel like it's for some people and not for me. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be here to have fun, to be in joy and love and possibility more often, if not all the time. And so then I can train myself away from the limitation and train myself towards love and possibility and limitlessness. And I love this thing that Joe Dispenza says is that coherence will consume incoherence. So the coherent brain waves, energy that you're creating in your body, when you get that momentum going day after day, this is why consistency is key. It consumes the incoherence. He shows this with metronomes that like go 100 different ways and there's like 50 of them and then eventually they all get on the same wavelength. And that's exactly what's going on in our brain as well. And it's powerful. So you can let that coherence, that momentum train you into being love, feeling love, thinking like love, things like that. And that's why I created this meditation playlist with options for you to have shorter meditations and longer meditations. If there was going to be one that I would consistently go back to, it would for sure be the Advanced Retreat Changing Boxes meditation and any of the shorter ones that you desire. And then do the other ones for fun or do them in the afternoon, or you can also meditate before bed. But I also highly recommend his book. And yeah, I hope this helps you start your meditation journey because it quite literally can be life changing. I'm on my second 100-day journey right now because why not? It feels so good. It feels so good. And I just want to see what's possible. And I have a new perspective now going into this second 100-day set that I'm doing. Why 100 days? I don't know. Why not? Just, it sounds nice. And so, yeah, it's just like, it gets to be a journey you get to go on. You get to see who you become, how you perceive life, because how you perceive life is the reality that you will live. So, comment below. Let me know if you're going to start your meditation journey. Let me know what meditations you'd like. Let me know what questions you have or things that come up for you on your journey. And happy meditating.